Welcome to the Nerd Cave News. I am one of your hosts, Zach Dykes, joined along with, known for her wild dancing and fierce persona, the lead singer of the new K-pop group sensation. It's Crystal Kim from Moon Dream.
Wow. Okay. I feel like I'm in like a Disney, one of those Disney Channel original movie characters.
Well, Crystal Kim, I'm glad you can make it to the show.
Glad I could be here. Glad I could take time out on a busy schedule to be here.
Yeah, you and Moon Dream, the rest of the girls in Moon Dream,
Mhm.
a fantastic new album, self-titled Moon Dream. I'm
Right.
excited to see what y'all have got coming down the road. But this episode is brought to you by Audible and Patreon.com. But first up, Audible is your one-stop shop, just like the Nerd Cave News, for all your
Mhm.
entertainment news, all the places. You got your audiobooks, you got your podcasts, you got magazines, you've got some meditative stuff. They've even got P Diddy doing some
What?
ASMR meditation stuff on there. I'm not even lying.
That's you. You know, at this point, I'm not even surprised because especially with a lot of like rappers or like hip hop artists or like just pop, just artists in general, they want to get into the space because I don't know if they're realizing or they're realizing it's like, hey, maybe I don't want to keep doing music for the rest of my life,
Hmm.
or they're like, you know what, I'm interested in this field. Let me do some other things to make the more revenue for me.
Yeah, and P Diddy, he's a business savvy man. So guys,
He
you
is.
can get your 30-day free trial of audible.com by going to audibletrial.com/nerdcave. Get your 30-day free trial, get you a good audiobook. I suggest the Murderbot Diaries if you like some sci-fi. If you like Gears of War, there's an awesome
Hmm.
set of books by Karen Travis. A lot of great things over there, and you can listen to your favorite podcast over on Audible as well. So get your 30-day free trial of Audible by going to audibletrial.com/nerdcave. Now, Derek,
Hmm. No, I am Crystal.
Crystal Kim, where can people go to become part of the ship, part of the crew?
So if you want to level up your experience with the Nerd Cave and jump along the exclusive ship, be a part of the exclusive crew, you can jump over to patreon.com/nerdcave, just like our wonderful crew members already have, which are Brandon Hicks, Richard Newell, Daniel Sanford, Rushing Waters Yoga, The Conductor, Marilyn James, and Brittany, the Granny B. Harrison. Bow, 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 bow.
This is the Nerd Cave News, where each and every week we run you through all the video game news that you need to know. You can watch us live over on twitch.tv/nerdcave network on Thursdays at 9 p.m. Central Time, or you can watch us later on youtube.com/nerdcave network. And if you like bite-sized nuggets of gaming news, check us out over on the Tiki Talk. Derek, Crystal Kim,
Mhm.
I mean,
Mm.
November, we've been playing a little game called Ghosts of Tsushima. It's been
Never heard of it.
it is amazing. It's a samurai tale of the Mongol attack of Tsushima, and
So Shema.
you can join our game club right now and discuss it over on our Discord. We've got a little time left, but we have the Thanksgiving holiday that's fixing to happen. So you've got
Yeah.
time to play. You've got time to catch up
Yeah.
and cram
You can get it in.
that game in into this a little bit, because December, guys, we're rolling on. We're getting a new game. So
Mm.
help us,
Can you believe we're at the end of the year already?
dude. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's absolutely crazy. And with the end of the year brings something that always comes from Jeff Keighley, the Game
Oh yeah.
Awards
Hot
20.
off the presses from Wednesday.
I know, it's crazy like how many things are going on right now. I was just like, the Game Awards. I was not expecting this to
No.
even be a thing at this point. Like, it just snuck up
No.
on me. Snuck up on me.
Exactly. Like we're not even toward the end of November. We're still mid-November, and I'm just like, oh yeah, it is that time.
Yep. So the Game Awards 2021 has its nominees, and we're going to discuss them. So, Derek, Take it
So
away.
what we're gonna do is, all right, guys, strap in. We got a 4-hour show planned for you. We're gonna break down every category in depth, like game by
I
game.
no,
I'm just kidding.
I got to
I'm
get up in the
kidding.
morning.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. So I do want to touch on just two categories. I want to definitely touch on game of the year, and I want to touch on most anticipated. So the game of the year nominees, and some of them actually surprised me. We got Deathloop from Arcane
Mhm.
Studios / Bethesda. We got It Takes Two from Hazelight, which that one surprised me, but it's great because I've heard it's definitely
Yeah,
one of their best
it's
outings.
great.
Metroid Dread from Nintendo, Mercury Steam. Psychonauts 2 from Double Fine and Xbox Game Studios. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart from Insomniac Games. Whoop whoop. And Resident Evil Village from Capcom. So, I've definitely played Ratchet and Clank. I've seen stuff on the other things. I didn't get it. I want to play Psychonaut. I want to play all the games. Well, except never been a big Metroid
Yeah.
fan, but I want to give all the games on this list a shot.
Mhm.
But what do you like? First of all, what does this list do for you? Do you think they got it right with all the nominees? And two, what do you think? What do you expect? And what do you think will win Game of the Year?
For me, I think it's a great list. I think Forza should be on this list. The new Forza
Okay,
that just dropped.
I know that's been the hot topic of conversation because of how great it is. From the rate, like it basically defines the racing genre for sure.
Yeah, I think Forza should be on this list. It Takes Two is great, but I don't think it should be in like the game of the year discussion. As good as it is,
Yeah,
and I enjoy that game. It is great, and Hazelight has done an amazing job where like each new
yeah,
level is a totally different gameplay mechanic and all of that. But I don't feel like it stacks up to the same level as Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart or Resident Evil Village, even Deathloop.
yeah.
Um, for me, like I don't think it belongs in the same place. Neither Metroid Dread. I don't think so either. You know.
I think. All right, so It Takes Two. I think is just based on Hazelight's reputation, and I think this was the game that really this was their best outing. Like, A Way Out was great, but it had some issues. Like, I think It Takes Two did, especially the message it wanted to send.
Oh yeah,
Now,
definitely.
Metroid, I disagree with you because it has been 20 years almost since we've gotten a 2D Metroid, and they knocked it. The wait was worth it, and they knocked it out of the park, and it revitalized. It got people excited for Metroid again because I know they announced Metroid Prime 4 a couple of years ago, then had to delay it indefinitely and pretty much reboot the game. So it left people with a sour taste in their mouth. So this was like a palate cleanser for sure. So I understand an argument to take it off there, but I would disagree only because of how great it pretty much. I don't want to say revitalized the genre, but it made it a talking point again.
Yeah, yeah, I understand that. For me, it's not a game that speaks to me.
Yeah,
And Metroid Dread never really like sells, or Metroid never really sells well. This one has sold well.
yeah,
So neither here nor there. The people that I think is going to
yeah,
win this is going to be a toss up between Resident Evil and Ratchet and Clank.
yeah.
Maybe
Well, you think
Deathloop.
Resident
Maybe
Evil
Deathloop.
Village? So for me, I mean the list. Like obviously, like you say, It Takes Two. I would also include again, like Double Fine came out and made it worth it. But I would say Psychonauts 2, I think, is a little too what's the word I'm looking for? It's too, I guess, forward, for lack of a better term. It deserves to be praised, for its accolades, but I don't think it deserves to be up there in Game
Yeah,
of the Year
yeah,
discussions.
yeah.
But I was shocked when I looked at this list. Again, we have two Sony exclusives on there, Deathloop and Ratchet and Clank, that
Yep.
are on there for Game of the Year discussions. I think Resident Evil will be nominated for a lot of things.
Mhm.
I don't know if necessarily it will win.
Yeah, yeah, I would agree.
Um, so I think it'll come from Deathloop just because granted they over pushed on the marketing, but it worked. Like the game came out and it was fantastic. I think Deathloop has a chance to get it, but me personally, I want Ratchet and Clank just because that game was phenomenal.
Mhm.
That's a game I beat and played when it came out, like in the span of that month. So I loved every minute of it. It put it back on the map. So I'm personally hoping for Ratchet and Clank, but I think Deathloop will take it home once it's all said and done.
Yeah, I agree. I think Deathloop is probably the one because it got way more buzz and acclaim than when Ratchet and Clank came out. Like it got, a lot of
Yeah.
acclaim, but Deathloop, a lot of people were, frothing at the mouth, if you will, for it. So
And I just find it ironic because they pushed the marketing, they had like all these showcases, whatnot, and the studio is owned by Xbox. But it's like we made a Game of the Year contender on PlayStation.
yeah, well, it's like
But I'm
that.
sure Xbox is looking into that and like, well, we can't wait for the next game you make for us.
Yeah, it's like their swan song of
Yeah.
of being on
Yeah.
on PlayStation and everything, So,
Right.
all right, you wanted to talk about one more in this?
Yeah, most anticipated just because I like to see we always like, it's great to reminisce about what's come out in the past calendar
Mhm.
year, but what's the future hold for the industry? So most anticipated, they have 5 games, Elden Ring from Software, Bandai Namco, God of War Ragnarok from Sony Santa Monica, for Horizon Forbidden West from Guerrilla Games, sequel Breath of the Wild sequel from Nintendo, and Starfield from Bethesda Game Studios. Out of that, it's a solid list.
Mhm.
Like the only thing I don't really care for on that list is Elden Ring. But what do you think will win, and what do you think? What do you are? Don't I won't even ask. What do you hope to win? What are you looking forward to just out of that list the most?
I God of War, 100%,
Yeah,
hands down. God of War is like the end all be all for me.
mm,
Um,
yeah,
so that's the one. After that, Horizon. Like
yeah.
those are the.
I had to pause for a minute and think for a toss up. Only now, the only reason I did a toss up was there's a part of me that doesn't believe that or still doesn't believe that Ragnarok will come out the same year as Horizon will. I think it'll get delayed to 2023. So I'm holding hope,
Yeah.
like skeptical hope, but at the end of the day, it's God of War for me.
Hmm.
Um, Starfield, I hope it lives up to the hype.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just hope it does. Like we still got a year away, less than a year away before it comes out. So I don't know, but I do. It was a toss up. Like I was like, oh, her Forbidden West actually has a release date, but when will God of War hit it? But I'm like, at the end of the day, I'm like, I still got to go God of War.
See, to me, there's people going to be like, well, why didn't you pick, Breath of the Wild sequel? That game ain't
All
coming
right,
next year. That game is not coming
no.
next year. Like the little bit we've seen is so minuscule. That game is not
Yeah.
coming 2022.
Now, if they show a trailer at the Game Awards and give a release window, we'll see.
No, they push it back. It's going to be a 2023. I call it right now, Derek. Right now.
All right.
Out of this list, the game that gets pushed is not God of War. It is the sequel to Breath of the Wild.
So let's get this in blood writing here. So what you're saying is it will be 2023, or Zach will burn everything PlayStation he owns. No, I'm just kidding.
I'll burn every PlayStation that you own. How about that?
Whoa!
Yeah,
I didn't say that. Whoa! Hold
yeah.
up.
You trying to
Let me do the Pit Boy meme. Hold up.
trying to come up in here? Trying to come up in here? One game, like I know, we're talking about game of the year, which I think we should have our own game of the year discussion and everything.
Yeah.
One of the most interesting games that I played was 12 Minutes, but that
Yeah.
game is not game of the year contender by any stretch of the
No.
imaginations. But
But it is up for Indie Game of the Year.
yeah, it's very interesting. But it does people just need to go play it. People just need to go play 12
Yeah.
minutes and see. There's a lot to it, but I enjoyed it overall. So that I just wanted to put that out there. 12 minutes.
Free for Game Pass members.
Yeah. Is it really free if you have to pay for it though?
I mean, you don't have to pay extra for it. So,
but you know what I mean. You know what I mean, Vern.
I know.
You know what I mean. You know what I mean.
Freemium rules the world.
Yep. Guys, speaking of freemium, this is what this feels like. Dragon Ball The Breakers is a new online survival co-op game, which they did not come up with a good title for this.
They definitely not. Like if they called it Project Code Breakers, I could understand that because it has a chance of changing it.
Well,
But
it's like if you took out the,
yeah,
it's just like you get what I'm saying.
yeah,
You get what I'm
exactly.
saying there. This is a little weird. I watched the trailer because Brandon had posted it in the Nerd Cave group that we got over on Facebook, and
Hmm.
yeah, I like that it's Cell and all of that, but it didn't speak to me. So let's take a gander
Right.
at it, Derek. You ready?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Some cells work.
Always liked the sound for Cell, like his.
Right. He coming for you.
Mm-hmm.
Oolong.
Like, I don't know why they have like Bulma, like
Right.
Dragon
From
Ball,
Dragon Ball.
Bulma.
Like so random.
Like, Oolong seems like to be like the most
Useful.
useful and resourceful.
Yeah.
Like, why is there a Saiyan pod just like
Right.
randomly
Just so
there?
random. And then Trunks' time capsule. You're all dead.
Yeah, because if that powerful of a Kamehameha wave hits the
Yeah.
Earth, that destroys the Earth. Not just the town.
Yeah.
That's the Earth. Oh.
So I get very like it is definitely like Friday the 13th Predator hunting
Yeah.
grounds vibes where, one killer, the rest are, survivors or whatnot. Because now I know it showed Cell, but I've read that it'll also be Frieza and Majin Buu available to play as well.
Okay.
Um, it's a cool concept. Like it's something definitely different from before.
Mhm.
And I mean, yeah, Bulma from Dragon Ball and Oolong are weird when the rest are just basic survivors.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
no name human beings. But it makes sense because it's like the whole point is like survive, get out, do whatever you can. And I mean, if you have Goku, I mean that's OP.
Yeah, yeah, I understand that, like Yamcha, that'd make a little bit more sense.
Yeah, Chaozu.
Chaozu, but like the asymmetrical gameplay, like I feel like we've seen kind of like that play out, like Dead by Daylight's probably the most successful of that genre.
Yeah,
But they've done a really good job of continuing like bringing in killers. That's what they call them in the game and everything.
yeah.
This Cell makes sense to me because he did go on a rampage. Like when he
Oh yeah,
first came out, like when he first showed up, he was like take like sucking people through his tail, which sounds weird if you
yeah.
never watched Dragon Ball, but like it was kind of that horror aspect of that character
Oh
and
yeah.
everything until he got to his second transformation. Um, like I having 17 and 18 in the game would make more sense for him to like
Hmm.
transform,
Yeah,
canonically.
because that's how he transformed to a second and third
Yeah.
stage.
But again, they would have, fighting powers and all of that. It would kind of break the gameplay loop of it.
Mhm.
But it would, it make more sense to me. That's my only like feedback on it. With, Frieza and Boo, it's like their transformations are totally different. Boo, on
Right.
the other hand, like him absorbing people
Yeah, would
would
transform.
transform him. Frieza,
Yeah.
no, like it doesn't work that way. So
No.
it's just how they're going to really work it. Are they going to support the game long term? Because that's what with Friday the 13th. That it's gone. It was
Yeah.
good, but it's gone. So with me, it's like you've got to support games, and just because you slap Dragon Ball on something doesn't mean I'm going to buy it.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
so that's kind of my
I
thoughts on
think
it.
I think I saw at the end of the video they're doing a beta. Like I'll give it a shot whenever they do the beta, but I'm like you. I don't know if it'll prompt me to buy it day one.
Yeah, yeah. I want good Dragon Ball games. Give me something that's like more focused on the super stuff. Like what we got at the
Right.
end of Kakarot, with the DLC and everything. I like that. I don't know why we
Yeah.
did Trunks for the last one instead of just keep going in, super stuff.
Right.
But like I would like more of that. Like give me something that's just in super, the
Yeah.
battle, whatever the big tournament was at the very end of super. Man, dude, that would be so cool to like actually like
Yeah.
fight Jiren and like
Oh gosh, yes.
it'd be Ultra Instinct. Oh my god, that would be so dope. So dope, so dope. Speaking of interesting fighting games,
Yep.
Warner Brothers has officially showed off the Multiverses. We're going to take a look at the first look reveal right now.
Yep.
I saw a little tease of Shaggy and his
Mhm.
various costumes and everything. So let's take a look at this. This is something we talked about a few weeks ago. So it's real.
Yep.
It's really real.
It's happening.
Hi, I'm Tony, the game director and co-founder here at Player First Games. We're here today to give you a first
Tony,
look
the game
at our new
director.
game, Multiverses. About 2 years ago, we had a question. Can we create a platform fighter that embodies everything we love about the genre, removes the pain points, and brings in some new ideas? Multiverses emphasizes teamwork and social play with an ever-expanding, diverse cast of characters that you know and love. This is our
Bugs
take
Bunny
on a
versus
competitive
Batman.
platform fighter. Cooperative, deep combat mechanics across
We've got
multiple
Arya
platforms
Stark.
and free to play.
What?
That's
So
Steven.
random.
Well, they
Everything is
own
better with your
Game of
friends.
Thrones.
And that's a bond we
I
want to
know.
emphasize across our modes, especially in 2v2. Every character has unique moves that focus on team play. Whether that's a smoke bomb from Batman to cover your team's movement,
Batman out.
Steven shielding his ally for extra defense,
Need a shield?
saving someone with a lasso tree, or using Bugs Bunny's tunnel. The better your teamwork, the better your chances are to win.
You're under my protection!
We built the game from the ground up for teamwork and co-op to deliver a more unique experience that we think players will enjoy. And for those of us who like to play solo, don't worry, we support that too.
A wolf of House Stark is not afraid.
Our roster has some of the most recognizable characters, so bring them to life with as close to one-to-one representation as possible through visuals, their worlds, their music, and more is
I
important.
just
to us.
realized that.
That's why iconic voice
Right.
talent powers many of our characters, like Kevin Conroy as Batman.
I am Batman.
In fact,
Okay.
we think you'll
And then-
recognize a lot
yeah.
of them.
Bet you didn't know about my dancing powers.
My roommate thinks I have anger issues. Let's see.
And that's actually Tara Strong.
Get ready to eat
Yeah.
my sword!
We're excited to show you our takes on characters from Tom and Jerry to Arya Stark
Not today.
to
Wait, dude, I got all kinds of tough
Shaggy.
guys.
Each fighter in Multiverses is unique, and we'll have a range of
I love this
customizations
like
available for all of
powering
them.
up like
And that's just a tip
Super
of the iceberg.
Saiyan.
I'm gonna eat some
Right.
Scooby snacks.
Ultra Instinct Shaggy.
Multiverses supports crossplay and cross progression, so you can focus on what's important.
Okay.
Who you'll play with on what platform you want.
Friendship power!
That also means guilds and more social features. Get ready to challenge other guilds with yours and see who's really ready for a fight. We'll have leaderboards and other ways to prove who's the best. Remember the last time you DC'd from a match? What about lag affecting your inputs? Us too. Multiverse's goal is best in class online. We're investing a lot into making the most responsive gameplay and netcode, in addition to dedicated servers from day one for the life of the game.
Okay. Well, they're at least being serious about it.
Is that anyone, anything is possible. We'll serve our community with regular updates, including new characters, modes, skins, and events throughout the year for you and your friends.
Cool.
With your help, we want to grow Multiverses to the best game it can be. So whether you want to freeze all your foes at once or compete in esports, you'll have a home here.
Batman versus Superman.
They're thinking esports. That's interesting.
That's our first look into Multiverses.
Well,
we've got more iconic characters and features to reveal. Sign up at multiverses.com for a chance to participate in our upcoming playtests. We want to hear your feedback.
Oh, that was funny.
Broken a sweat.
Yeah.
All right. Coming 2022. So my thought here, real quick, Derek, and then I'll toss it to you. This is perfect timing with the end of kind of like Smash Ultimate. Like we getting, Sora and all of that. And when this comes out, it'll be, that the sun is set on that as a whole. And then this could be filling the void of Smash. If done well, this could be
if done
the next thing.
Right. And you hit it right there. If done well, that's the whole key to this, because as you can see at the end of this, it says free to play. So that's my only cause for concern is like, all right, is it going to be a freemium game? Like, like will there be battle passes? All that kind of, your favorite buzzwords insert here.
The thing that concerned me, let's see, when they were showing like Arya's like I'll pull it up if you could see loadout and everything. Like they were showing, various costumes and all of that. Like, that for me was like, okay, this is going to be us buying things, us buying emotes. I'll show this so everybody can.
Victory poses,
offenses, like the perks and all of that. Like, are you buying these? Are you unlocking these? Like, is this, how are they going about this? But there is going to be microtransactions galore in this. I can tell you that.
Oh yeah. So, but it does quell, because I know when we first talked about this a couple weeks ago, you had concerns where there was just going to be a cash grab. Now it'll be a cash grab in the sense of like, like what we just discussed, freemium type things, but it won't be a cash grab where it's just going to be like, oh, here's a game where you get to play as Batman, Shaggy, why not just have fun, and they don't put anything into it.
Yeah. And I like them really like focusing on the meme of Shaggy and everything, like that says a lot to me. Like they're willing to go that extra little bit, having Kevin Conroy, having Tara Strong in there, like having the original voice actors for the characters. That's gonna be cool. And it's like, we want this to be a thing. And like we talked about earlier, WB, like they own a lot of properties.
Yeah. So the world is that oyster. They could add a lot of stuff.
Nothing says we don't see Harry Potter in this at some point in time.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like, I'm surprised we didn't already get it, but they have to do some things now. Well, let me ask you this: do we get Harry Potter, Fantastic Beasts, or both?
I think we get both.
Okay.
Okay. Here's my thing. We get Harry Potter first. When Fantastic Beasts 3 is about to come out, then we get that as a push for it. That
fair enough.
It's going to be like Fortnite marketing. Anytime a new show is about to hit, guess who gets added to Fortnite? That new character. Like Boba Fett's going to be added to, to Fortnite.
Fortnite next month for when the show comes out in Disney Plus. And Yeah, it's ironic because this already has, yeah, this has me more interested than the Nicktoons
Oh
All
yeah.
Star Ball, which I mean I think that's been dead in the water
Oh
already.
yeah. Like it came out and it had like, you know, maybe a week of buzz and then just dead DOA,
Nothing.
you know. So
Yeah.
this looks like it's going to be a little bit more you know, with the Nicktoons, like they haven't been updating it. Like we haven't seen, you know, oh, we've added a new character already. Like they should have
Yeah.
already added somebody at this point. So
Yeah.
well, I'm excited about it, but you know, the game that I have been waiting for a long time because we've been getting remasters and re-releases of its predecessor, but at our Xbox news segment this week we're going to talk about The Elder Scrolls 6 has all but been confirmed to be an Xbox exclusive. Say it ain't so, Derek.
I mean, well, one thing on Monday they had their 20th anniversary stream. So they talked about a lot of stuff, showed a lot of stuff, well, showed some stuff, but you know, they reminisced.
Mhm.
And you know, this was the worry, right? When Xbox bought Bethesda, because years before they had showed off Starfield, Elder Scrolls 6, and everyone started saying, "Oh, these are going to be exclusive now." I believed Starfield would be.
Mhm.
I didn't think Elder Scrolls would be, just because of how massive that series has been across, you know, the entirety of the gaming
Oh
world.
yeah.
But as the article says, let's get into what's being said. Head of Xbox Phil Spencer has all but confirmed that The Elder Scrolls 6 will be an Xbox console exclusive. In an interview with British GQ, Spencer says that he sees the sequel to Skyrim as a similar case to fellow Bethesda title Starfield, which was confirmed for Xbox Series X and S and PC earlier this year. At least in part, his reasoning seems to come down to what the Xbox ecosystem can offer its exclusives, including cloud gaming, Xbox Live services, and more. Quote, "It's not about punishing any other platform. Like, I fundamentally believe all the platforms can continue to grow. But in order to be on Xbox, I want us to be able to bring the full, complete package of what we have. And that would be true when I think about Elder Scrolls 6. That would be true when I think about any other of our franchises." Ever since Xbox bought Bethesda parent company, many, you know, and goes on to say, many have already speculated this. Um, um, what is it? And then it goes down here. Oh, Microsoft has previously said that Bethesda games would be released first or better or best on Xbox, but Bethesda's Todd Howard said that it was hard to imagine The Elder Scrolls 6 as an Xbox exclusive. Now it seems as though the pendulum has swung the other way, with Spencer sounding far more bullish about the eagerly anticipated RPG staying on Microsoft-controlled platforms. Elsewhere in the piece, Todd Howard reiterated that The Elder Scrolls 6 is still being designed, but added that the ultimate goal for the game remains similar to previous installments in the series. Quote, you go back and you read the review of the first Elder Scrolls, then you read the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion's, and then you read Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim's review. You black out a couple of things, then they read the same. You've stepped out and oh my gosh, it feels so real. People change, technology changes, but the ultimate goal is still to make it so that when you boot the game up, you feel like you've been transported. So, you know, it obviously talks about that, and I get where Phil Spencer's coming from. Is like, look, when you're creating an ecosystem of exclusives, you have to, you know, if you want people to think Xbox, you have to do moves like this.
Yep.
And who's to say that, you know, that like with Deathloop, it's a timed exclusive on PS5. It'll eventually come to other platforms. Who's to say it won't be reciprocated the other way? Like,
Yep.
and of course, you know, whatever deals are made, I'm sure, you know, backdoor deals will happen. Like Psychonauts 2, they bought up Double Fine. And at the time they said Psychonauts 2 is coming to PlayStation. They still honored that.
Yep.
But I've obviously, you know, I just assumed everything would be day one on Game Pass, but you know, now it's being an exclusive. Do you how should I phrase this question? I don't think it's a terrible move in the sense of like, look at what the last couple, like Microsoft Flight Simulator got a 10 out of 10. Most recent one, Forza Horizon 5 got a 10 out of 10 on IGN. Like they're starting to remember what we talked about earlier in the year. Xbox, once they start nailing down the exclusives, they're coming for Sony, and you're starting to see that momentum gaining. That snowball is starting to grow a little bigger, rolling down that hill. So this is the momentum they need for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely 100%. I'm glad that we're past the Crackdown 3 era where, Microsoft kept,
Woof.
stepping in it. But with this, if the Elder Scrolls 6 just comes out on Microsoft platforms, let's, PC, Xbox, whatever,
Right.
like it's theirs, it's their right as an owner of that company to be able to do that, to make that choice. Does it stink for the people that have PlayStation? Yeah, it does. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Will Microsoft, play the timed exclusive? Maybe not.
Yeah.
It all ultimately comes down to what they want. If it is only on their platform, we're going to see, probably for the first time, a Bethesda game that is not janky.
You would hope, right? Now,
Yeah.
the litmus test, or I wouldn't say maybe not the litmus test, but definitely the precursor to that would be when Starfield comes out next year. How will that be? Because it's already going to be a new IP. It's a space RPG. We've seen, will it be up there with the likes of a Mass Effect? It's already got questions before it even comes out, and then you got to worry about Bethesda bugs. So that'll be the stepping stone.
Well, this time around, Bethesda is not being pushed by a parent company that is just out for money, which is great. They're not under a time crunch. And, it is time for them to get past that, misnomer of their game has bugs. Their game's going to be, glitchy. They're going to, the people are going to look a certain way, hopefully they're running on a better engine than what they've been running on for the longest time.
Right.
That's my hopes and dreams, is that we finally get, a Bethesda game that doesn't look, it's like, well, this looks like a, Xbox 360 game with a little bit better textures. The AI moves the same way. Like you've seen all of these memes of like the Skyrim characters like running into things and like keep walking and all of that. So, hopefully Elder Scrolls 6, if they focus on one console, it will run better. So that's my thoughts.
Yeah. So time will tell for sure. And I want something, now I have no backing of this, so I could be misremembering, but something in my craw just sticks out that I think they said for Starfield they're going to run it on Unreal Engine 5. I could be wrong, but for some reason that in my Rolodex brain that sticks out, I think I remember this, but I could be wrong.
Why don't you tell everybody what a Rolodex is, Derek?
It used to be what a phone book used to be, when you had a list of names or important people. It was literally sat on a thing and you would just roll it, and it would just have it'd be, depending on how you get it organized, it would be alphabetized or thing of importance,
Okay. Well, I'm glad you explained it, because some people probably don't know what a Rolodex is.
I'm showing my age.
The old man over here. Speaking of time and age, before Netflix came along, Xbox Game Pass was going to be a rental service, which means they were talking about this for a long time.
100%.
So
before the likes of Netflix and Spotify successfully adopted a model of streaming media content to users via a subscription-based service, Xbox Game Pass was set to begin life as a video game rental platform. Speaking to British GQ, Microsoft's head of gaming ecosystems, Sarah Bond, explained that Xbox Game Pass may have originally looked rather different. The studio's decision to launch as a streaming-based subscription service came in part due to the successes seen by other companies using the model, turning a rental service codenamed Arches into the game subscription service we know as Game Pass. It also helped the company to build into another phenomenon in the industry, the longer duration over which games were generating revenue. Quote, something like 75% of a game's revenue used to be made in the first 2 months of release. Nowadays, it's spread over 2 years. Game Pass allows the company to offer the games themselves at an attractive price point for players, while expansions or other post launch transactions remain valuable. Bond went on to reveal that the idea of a video game subscription service was initially met with strong resistance from publishers who believed that Game Pass would devalue games. When Xbox initially launched Game Pass in June of 2017, it's already been that long, holy cow. It launched with a number of low risk, older games that publishers had granted the studio access to in order to test how profitable the service would actually be. As per GQ, Xbox found that engagement from players surpassed all its estimates, a factor that eventually led to the company releasing an Xbox Studios project, Sea of Thieves, onto the platform at the same time as it launched into wider retailers, seeing continued successes up to now and encouraging it to release all new first party games into the service as well as attracting publisher support. Of course, it talks about now it's up to 18 million subscribers for Game Pass. So it's like you said, before Netflix became a thing, they've been talking about this for decades, or maybe just a decade at least, or definitely a long, long time. Um, I'm glad they went with this model because I don't know, like, obviously you see rental stores like Rest in Peace Blockbuster, Rest in Peace Movie Gallery, like they're not around anymore. So I'm kind of glad they decided not to go with this route, and it paid off for them in the end.
Yeah, definitely. Like this was because let's take a look at GameFly. I used GameFly for a very, very long time, but now that there are more streaming ways of, downloading a game or, xCloud or whatever, I haven't used GameFly in years. It's probably been 3 or 4 years that I haven't used GameFly, but I had a GameFly subscription since 2009.
I'm about to say it was like when we were in college for sure.
Yeah, like 2009 I started using GameFly, and Game Pass like has a lot to do with that. I wish PlayStation Now would, get up on the stick. But
maybe one day.
Wish in one hand, spit in the other, and see which one fills up faster, right?
Right, exactly.
But I'm glad to see the way that it did go. That that streaming was the right move.
And it arguably changed the face of Microsoft, or at least Xbox for sure.
I think it's changing the face of gaming, because with Microsoft, it's like you're putting out your first party games day and day for $9.99 or $14.99 a month. If everybody was at just $19.99 a month and they had 18 million, they have like $179 million a month.
Yeah, lot of bread to spread around for sure. You wouldn't have needed 2 loaves to feed the 5,000. You would have had plenty of revenue.
Yeah, exactly. So
and to go off of that, like it wasn't, it started off as like Sea of Thieves, State of Decay, what was the terrible one? Crackdown 3. But then it's like, oh, we're gonna put Forza Horizon, we're gonna put Gears, we're gonna put Halo on there, and it's like, okay, y'all are serious.
Yeah, there ain't no playing around it. Which I'm glad, do something serious and make us believe in it, and they have.
And now we're getting big third-party games on there, like we had Back 4 Blood. We had earlier in the year the first big domino to fall. I mean, you've had Outriders and you've had Dungeons and Dragons, which were mediocre titles, but then you had MLB The Show, which was not only its first outing on Xbox, they said, all right, we're going to give it to you on Game Pass as well. And it's like, all right, y'all are like swinging for the fences. You may have a few duds here and there, but y'all are dreaming big.
Yeah, which I like it. Speaking of things that have come to Game Pass this week, Halo, I refreshed the wrong thing. Halo Infinite launched its beta this week. We got a lot of stuff in there. But one of the coolest things was that it was 20th year anniversary. Day and day, they put out Halo Infinite's multiplayer beta. I've played it. Have you checked it out yet?
Have not. Maybe I'll try and play it this weekend, but I have not. What are your initial thoughts?
My initial thoughts are the time to kill is a little bit too long. Like it
Yeah.
feels like, by God, I have to like really work at killing somebody. So it doesn't fully feel like Halo in that sense. Movement wise, it feels normal. The big team battles, they've got to do some work on that.
Got you.
Because they keep just like forcing you to play this thing called Power Seed, and that game mode sucks. It sucks.
Oh.
It sucks so much. But other than that, like I really enjoy it. I know we're going to get into it, and they've already
Yeah.
made some changes on the progression.
Yeah, I didn't add it in the doc, but I mean, yeah, I did. Just a side note, there has been some issues with the battle pass and the progression. They are working on that this week. Hopefully they have the fixes rolled out by the end of the week.
Yeah, so I'm glad that they're listening to the community. The thing that I would like is to be able to pick the game mode that I want to play. Like it's
What? You want to have options? What is that? How
it
dare
is
you?
so annoying. It's like, okay, you're making one of the challenges where I have to play a certain game mode, and then I don't get to pick the game mode that I play. It's just like,
Right.
you just whatever you get queued for, and I'm like, that ain't me, dog. That ain't me. But nonetheless, let's get into these articles, Derek. You got for us.
So first, of course, the beta's out now, and this is going to talk about the battle pass and progression, which will carry over to launch on December
I like
8th.
that.
The news, of course, obviously dropped during the 20th anniversary stream. Of course, it had been rumored throughout the weekend, and it's been revealed that Halo Infinite multiplayer is launching, as a beta. However, unlike previous beta, like technical previews for 343 Industries' latest go at Halo multiplayer, all progression in the beta carries over to the full launch on December 8th. More specifically, all cosmetics unlocked, all battle pass progression, and all experience/challenge-based progression will carry over to the full release. To play Halo Infinite's multiplayer, you simply need an Xbox One, Series X or S, or a PC. As it's free to play, more about what to expect in the first season of Halo Infinite multiplayer, which we'll get into in a moment. They talk about the first season. Once you've downloaded the multiplayer beta, the entire multiplayer suite of Halo Infinite will be available to you. All of the modes, maps, weapons, battle pass tier unlocks, and more. As noted previously by Xbox and 343 Industries, each season of Halo Infinite multiplayer will include a paid battle pass. You can also progress through a free version of each battle pass, but don't expect nearly as many rewards, nor should you expect them to be as exciting. However, each battle pass can be accessed at any time, so if you miss one now, you can catch up on it later. It's important to note, though, that only one battle pass may be active at a time, so don't expect to progress through multiple in a single match. So the next one is going to be talk about the season 1, which is called Heroes of Reach. And the interesting part is, like, usually when we talk about seasons, Zach, it's usually like we would think of it like in a couple months span. Usually they just plow it through. Sometimes it's just a month, maybe a month and a half too, that you carry over most of the battle pass or have a battle pass unlock time.
Yep.
But this one, they're letting last until May of next year.
Oh, wow.
A long time. Makes me wonder if it's just like a first season type of thing, or will it like every season be this long? But Halo Infinite's multiplayer was surprise shadow dropped during the 20th anniversary stream, and shortly after the reveal, the official Halo Twitter account announced that the first season of multiplayer will last until next year. More specifically, Season 1 Heroes of Reach, which is a season based around the Spartans and characters from Halo Reach, will last until May of 2022. That means that Season 1 is half a year long, which should give players plenty of time to unlock all tiers of the Battle Pass, according to Xbox. So doing so will yield you over 100 rewards. As you can see in the teaser image above, some of those rewards include a flaming head effect, flaming shoulder pads, new helmets, new Spartan armor skins, and more. The blue ones indicate a rare item, the purple even rarer, and the yellow items represent legendary items. So your typical loot base. As noted in today's surprise multiplayer announcement, all of your battle pass progression, Spartan customization, and shop purchases will carry over from the beta to the full release of Halo Infinite. Season 1 will feature multiple in-game events with their own rewards and activities. And the first one, called Fractured Tenrai, this Fracture event will feature a limited time event pass, a unique playlist, and samurai-themed rewards, and it begins next week. The Halo Infinite campaign will launch on December 8th, but the account also says blah 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 blah. Working Pete. Okay, so that's pretty much covers season 1. So let's stop here for a second. What does like the obviously it's great to have the progression. What does season 1 content do for you? And obviously it's going to be half a year that it lasts.
Yep.
Do you think every season will last that same time frame or close to it, or do you think they will start doing shorter seasons?
I think they will do shorter seasons, especially with the update to the progression.
Yeah.
I think they will probably cut it down to like 4 months, something that's more
Yeah.
along the lines of, other campaign, other seasons and all of that. Because if you're progressing through the battle pass faster, then of course they're going to want to put a new battle pass out quicker.
Right.
For me,
You go ahead. I'm
like,
sorry.
I'm curious how the events are going to work. The samurai armor,
Yeah.
like that's all I want right now is to get that samurai armor.
Right.
So
You want to get your Ghost of Tsushima on even in Halo.
exactly, I was about to say, Clan Sakai is gonna ride again, baby.
We ride at dawn, boys. No, I do agree with you. I think they find the happy medium, like 3 to 4 months per season after the first one. Like I think this is just like basically to get people excited for Halo again. Like I know we both agreed that the multiplayer trailer they showed at E3 really got us engaged into it, really popped off to us, like made us excited to get into Halo again. I think that season 1's like basically a welcome back. Like, please enjoy like the series, the game we've been working on to bring to you. But I do think it's longer than other seasons. I think they want to make it worth people's while and not just change it every month. But I think a 4-month span is that perfect sweet spot to where it doesn't overstay its welcome, but it doesn't feel like just a visit either.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm all down for that. Get us in, get us comfortable with the game. Because sometimes it feels like the seasons go by super fast, where it's just like
100%
enjoyable. And I like that you can go back and, if you missed something in a previous battle pass, you can go back and get it, unlike other games.
That I'm about to say that is definitely a new, like that's definitely something no one else does. It's like with Fortnite, it's like if you miss something, say la vie, but with Halo, it's like, oh, you missed it, you can go back and earn these rewards, especially if it was like the skin or emote or whatever that you really wanted. It's like, oh, I still have a chance. But I do wonder if they still will put a time limit on it. Like after a year, will they get as like, oh, on the 1-year anniversary, it's like, oh, the first battle pass is no longer available because everyone's moved on.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure on that. And
well,
I you said Fortnite. I don't know if you have it in the quick hits, but did you see that they're bringing Naruto to Fortnite? Like,
yeah, I did. It is in the quick hits.
Well, I won't continue talking about it, but I know Phil Spencer talks about some Halo Infinite news, so let's go into that.
So this one I added because it was a shock because so he talks about Halo Infinite's botched original reveal, quoting, "We should have been honest with ourselves." So, head of Xbox Phil Spencer has discussed his regret around the original announcement of Halo Infinite as an Xbox Series X and S launch game, saying that his team should have been honest with itself about whether the game was ready to show off and release. Speaking to British GQ, Spencer looked back at the original gameplay reveal of Halo Infinite, which was famously shown off and delayed shortly afterwards. Quote, "I don't like how we did it. I don't like that we showed the game, talked about it launching and the launch of the consoles, and then within a month we moved it." Spencer added that the decision to delay Halo Infinite was just a few months before its intended launch wasn't an attempt to fool anyone. Quote, "We should have known before and just been honest with ourselves. We were there not out of deception, but more out of hope. And I don't think hope is a great development strategy. The delay had listed more than a year, but early signs point to that having been a worthwhile wait. After a campaign hands-on, we said that most of our concerns about Master Chief's long-awaited spiritual reboot melted away. Meanwhile, a technical preview of the multiplayer mode left us very enthused." So it goes on to talk because they're doing an IGN first, covering Halo Infinite for that month. So I'm sure we'll talk about it, several more times between now and then. I like transparency, and this is why I've been such a fan of Phil Spencer,
Yeah.
because he tells it how it is. He doesn't sugarcoat it. He's like, look, when we do great, we're great. When we mess up, case in point, we'll admit that we messed up. And you know, he does bring up good points. Like we were hoping for it because, you know, we've talked about it before. 343 has had a rocky start to the Halo franchise. Like 4 was, I liked 4. I know you didn't care for it. 5, we both agree, story wise, trash, terrible. So they really needed to hit on this, and like he says, they talked about hope, and that hope was, can we rekindle that fire, that passion, that love for the series that we did, you know, that Bungie did back in the day. And they shot like Icarus, they went for the sun and got burned. So
yeah, I think they were trying to, you know, do what the original Xbox had, where when it launched, it had Halo with it to propel it and everything. And you know, it's like things kind of work different. You know, you don't want to put out a game where you have to patch a ton of it. You know, and I'm glad that they're not doing that. You know, they put the time in to fix it. And you know, what we've seen in the beta so far, I've enjoyed getting to play with a bunch of people. Like we've had, you know, where we had 7-8 people playing at a time, you know, with us, you know, wanting, you know, to play more and more and more. So like we had to go from, you know, playing just like 4-man squads to doing big team battles to be able to, you know, utilize the whole system. So, and just having everybody on comms, like it felt like the old days where we'd be playing multiplayer like at someone's house, you know, LAN parties and all of that, which, you know, brings back so many good memories of, you know, my early, you know, teen years to, you know, when I finally got to drive and all of that. I remember putting my Xbox in a duffel bag, you know, and just like, you know, didn't even protect that thing. You just put it in a duffel bag. It'll be okay. Put some clothes around it.
Throw it in the bag.
So you know, I'm glad to see, you know, Halo returning. I cannot wait for the campaign. I cannot wait for it. December 8th. We going hard on that campaign. Let me tell you.
Yes, sir.
But we're not done with Xbox news, because X gonna give it to you. Gonna give it to you.
Quickies. So starting off, over 70 original Xbox and Xbox 360 games are now backwards compatible, but it will be the last batch. This is sort of like its sending off party because of the 20th anniversary. 2 new Xbox exclusives reportedly were leaked, including a single-player Southern Gothic adventure. Microsoft is giving away an oil painting of The Rock's original Xbox reveal, which was super cool. Power On, the story of Xbox 6-part documentary, was announced and is releasing on December 13th. And lastly, Xbox Cloud Gaming is out now for Series X and S and Xbox One. And I've been waiting for this because now if we want to try a game, but we don't want to wait for that download time, if it's part of the cloud service, we can just go bloop and play.
Hey, there we go. I'm excited about that. Now, moving into some Ubisoft news. A little sad one here for some people. Far Cry executive director leaves Ubisoft and reported live service projects are in the works.
So Ubisoft announced that its executive director of Far Cry, Dan Hay, and his beautiful deep voice will be leaving the studio this week. Hay is reported to have been working on a live service Far Cry game before his departure. Ubisoft has announced that Hay will be ending his tenure at the studio this week, having worked there for over a decade. As shared by GamesBeat, a statement from the company confirmed his departure. Quote, after more than 10 years at Ubisoft, Dan Hay has announced that he will be pursuing a new chapter in his professional life, and he will be leaving on November 12th. Ubisoft went on to confirm that in its statement that Hay has not yet announced where he would be working next, before thanking the Far Cry exec for his many contributions over the years. The studio then concluded by revealing that the game brand would be led by Ubisoft Montreal. Producer Sandra Warren on an interim basis, who will work alongside a highly capable team of producers and directors. Per VentureBeat, Hay was reportedly working on the studio's next Far Cry game, which is rumored to take shape as a live service game similar to the reports surrounding the studio's next Assassin's Creed game. Earlier this year, reports surfaced suggesting that Ubisoft were working on a project codenamed Assassin's Creed Infinity that would take shape as an online platform including multiple historic settings that evolve over time. Following the reports, Ubisoft formally announced that it would be working on Assassin's Creed Infinity. The game is being developed by a cross-studio collaborative structure made up of doesn't talk anymore. So, you know, it's sad that he's left because he definitely can't. He's been working for over a decade,
Mhm.
so he worked in the high when it was at its high point. He brought Far Cry 3 to make the series relevant, and he's been with that company, ever since. He's been with. So it's sad to see him leave. But the bigger story here to me is them doing. So it seems like Ubisoft is going the live service route. Like they've
Yeah.
been they're like a chameleon. They change however the industry flows. Like they did games as a service, now they're doing live service. We talked like we said, we talked about Assassin's Creed Infinity being a thing in the future. Like instead of buying a new Assassin's Creed every couple of years, you're just going to do updates to historical settings. Seems like they're going to follow suit with Far Cry, especially because those while Assassin's Creed more than Far Cry tries to have an overarching narrative with like the modern times, they have different time periods, different protagonists. Same thing with Far Cry, different locations, different protagonists. So it works. But does this concern you not just for the Far Cry series, the way it's copying Assassin's Creed? Do you worry about Ubisoft doing this live service thing as a whole?
Far Cry and Assassin's Creed have copied each other for a very long time, so I don't think it's necessarily like anything different. Think about the towers, the sync points, and all of that. Clearing out bases and all of that. Like they mirrored each other a lot, especially more recently since Origin. Like they've kind of lined up even more so than pre-Origin.
Yeah.
That being said, the live service stuff, I feel like this is going to be a cash grab kind of stuff. For me, I don't trust Ubisoft as far as I can throw them in that, like they're not as bad as Activision in that,
But they're getting there.
But they are definitely getting there.
Especially with the in-office stuff too. But we're not going to talk about that.
What you talking about, Derek? They've never done anything wrong in their life.
They're choir people.
Yeah, definitely. But I just don't think I think live service games like on that sort of deal, like it's going to run its course just like MMOs ran its course, just like RPGs ran its course, like open world shooters, like a lot of things, like because everybody jumps on them, like everybody wants to be like Fortnite. So everybody starts doing, battle royales. They start cramming a bunch of, like things into those, like let's sell a bunch of skins and all of that.
How can we make money?
Yeah. And it's like, you're not really making a game. You're making something to generate revenue. It's not necessarily to tell a story or, that sort of deal, because, hey, have we seen a Ubisoft art game in a while? No.
No.
So it's all about money.
Valiant Hearts.
Yeah. Good game. It's actually quite difficult at times, but it's still a very good game. Speaking of, well, I don't know if it's going to be a good game or not.
TBD.
I can't tell a lie. Rainbow Six Extraction released at set for January 20th alongside other benefits, and we got a trailer for this called Buddy Pass, new lower price and special offers for Rainbow Six Extraction. So
full suite of special benefits for everyone, including a cross-platform Buddy Pass system, a new lower price, and exclusive bonus content for Siege players. With Buddy Pass, all Extraction owners can invite their friends to play for free. 2 friends can join your squad from any platform, even if they don't own the game. Play free together for up to 14 days. Pre-order now and get Rainbow Six Extraction for $39.99. Get the Deluxe Edition, including 3 exclusive bonus packs, for $49.99. Every pre-order includes the Orbital Decay Cosmetic Bundle. Play both Extraction and Rainbow Six Siege to receive the United Front Bundle, which includes 4 exclusive gear sets across both games, and permanently unlock the 18 Extraction operators in Rainbow Six Siege. All post-launch content is completely free. Now is the best time to join millions in the Rainbow Six universe. Jump in at a new lower price, unlock exclusive content, and play free with friends using Buddy Pass.
Okay. I know we got another one that we're going to look at here in just a second. So, Derek, what are your thoughts on that?
I do like the buddy pass, free for the first 2 weeks and, up to 2 friends on any platform. So it's not just like, oh, you can only do it, and I do like the lower price point, but this screams to me, please pre-order this game. Please like our game. We have, I don't want to say they have no faith in it, but they're like, maybe we're shooting too far to the moon for this, especially with a $60 price point. Let's temper expectations here.
Yeah, it reeks of desperation. Like if you okay. I run a business. All right. Sometimes we get, people that want to work with us, but they don't necessarily have the money, or there are times where it's like, hey man, we just need to make some money. You know what I mean? Like we'll take a project that's, cheaper just to, get some flow. You know what I mean?
Right.
This is what this sounds like. It's like we are hemorrhaging
100%.
money right now, and we got to get pre-orders. We got to get people, buying something, and which doesn't make any sense because Far Cry 6 sold pretty well from what it reviewed well, at least. So a lot of people were playing it. So it's just doesn't make any sense. So,
and I like how they take I know it's a day before technically, but I like how they took the Elden Ring spot from the release date, since Elden Ring pushed itself to February.
Yeah. I'm not a Siege player, so it like I do like the buddy pass, but the way they were saying it originally was like, oh, your buddies just get to play it. But it's like, okay, it's like, the first hit's free, but then you have to pay after that.
Oh, I mean, do you expect any different from Ubisoft?
No. I was like, man, this is really kind.
This isn't Haze Light where you can permanently play with someone else for free through the entire game.
Exactly. That's why they're Game of the Year.
Exactly.
So we've got the Rainbow Six Extraction free post-launch and in-game trailer. Because hey, when you're putting your in-game trailer out before your game literally comes out, that screams, we're going to support this
desperation
thing. We're really going to support this thing.
Please like our game. Please buy it.
I give it 6 months.
You're being generous.
Just when you think you've mastered your skills in Rainbow Six, it's only the beginning. We're ready to show you Rainbow Six Extraction's challenging endgame mode, and how we'll continue to test your squad in an ever-evolving, entirely free post-launch program. Millions of Rainbow Six players enjoy pushing their skills to the limit. That's why we created Maelstrom Protocol, a weekly challenge mode with tiered ranks. Earn exclusive rewards and all the bragging rights. Available at launch, this mode is built for players with fully upgraded operators and the will to never back down. Each week, your squad chooses from a hand-picked roster to navigate through 9 customized subzones that get progressively harder. All objectives must be completed to proceed. Refill stations get scarcer, and the allotted time gets shorter at each stage. Maelstrom Protocol's enemy lineup will push your team beyond anything you will encounter in the game's highest difficulty setting. Your squad must either push to the end or fully extract to bank your points towards a higher class. If you fail to extract, you get no points. As a squad, you'll want to earn your place in Diamond class before a set date, which will grant you special headgear to show off. You can even earn React credits along the way. How far will you go to be among the best? As the Parasite continues to evolve, a variety of other challenges will keep your squad in peak operational form. Crisis events are limited-time, intense events within Extraction with new content. Each Crisis event will have a new themed mode, plus a new operator for your roster, or a new formidable protean to take down. In the first Crisis event, Spillover, your new objective is to wipe out colonies of mass-propagating aliens sprawl as hordes of Archeans descend on you. Also get new React tech, new cosmetics, and discover new lore exclusive to those who report for duty during the event. Available immediately at launch, assignments are weekly gameplay modes that can be used to test your squad's skills. In Veteran mode, there's no HUD, limited ammo, and friendly fire is on. To kick the anthill, you'll need perfect aim to breach high-density barricaded zones. And in wall-to-wall, you must find your way through restricted airlocks amid relentless Archean assaults. From day one, get access to Maelstrom Protocol and weekly assignments. With crisis events, new operators and proteans will inspire new strategies. Get your squad ready to experience all the many challenges in our free post-launch program. See you in the containment zone.
Friends play free.
So, for me,
Mm-hmm.
it's like with any other, especially with Ubisoft games, like it's like with any post-launch, they pretty much like front load it with a bunch of things like, oh, we're gonna support after launch, like let's go. We're gonna support it, and then like after that first month or whatever, nothing for a while. So
Yeah.
it's cool. Like I like some things that they're doing. Like it feels very like Division Dark Zone-y. At the same time,
Yeah.
it's like, okay, what are you gonna do 4 months after launch?
Yeah, like, where do you go after this? Is it just,
Yeah.
like, are you just putting out new assignments, new crisis events?
Yeah.
Like that supports it, but
Rinse, repeat.
yeah, it's like, how many are there? Like, do you have enough to last for X amount of time? For me, like, I know some people like play through games and they get done really, really quickly. Because that they have the time, the people that are very into the games or whatever, like they're going to want that in-game content a lot quicker than normal people. So it's
Right.
like, having that like day one is great, it's saying, hey, we got this planned out and for a certain amount of time. But like you said, that next month, what happens the second month of the game? Is there actual
Yeah.
content out there? Are they going to continue to put stuff out there? So I don't know,
We'll see.
it kind of concerns me, so
It does.
you know
So, but we got 2 months, so hopefully they'll talk about it more.
Yep. Something that Ubisoft doesn't talk a lot about, beyond
Yeah.
Good and Evil 2, we got some rumor controversy. And Derek, I'm going to let you explain all of this good stuff.
So I'm going to discuss both of them, and then we'll get our thoughts after.
Mhm.
So there was a first article posted on, and this is from the same website that I got it from, PlayStation Universe. So it's not like it wasn't like a hearsay type of thing,
Yeah.
or someone posted something different in the same vein. So as of this past Friday, the first rumor was Beyond Good and Evil 2 development continues to suffer, quote, matter of time before it's officially canceled. The latest rumors about Beyond Good and Evil 2 development are here, and unlike all Beyond Good and Evil 2 news or rumors, they're not good. As development reportedly continues to suffer, the developers believe it's only a matter of time before the game is officially canceled. It's Tom Henderson of VGC with the latest rumors, who posted them to Twitter, talking about how the game has suffered a serious creative crisis with the departure of Michel Ancel. Quote, the game is suffering a development crisis from a lack of creative direction since the title went into development, which was worsened by Michel Ancel's departure from the studio in September of last year. What's worse is that the game currently doesn't fit with Ubisoft's future ambitions and goals with future titles. The game has been described as Skull and Bones 2.0, and although the game hasn't been canned officially, some developers believe it's a matter of time before it is. Henderson also rightly points out that Beyond Good and Evil 2 doesn't fit the live service future that Ubisoft sees for its franchises. If Ubisoft is really stuck on where to move forward creatively, so many years after this game has been announced and the first one released, it just makes it even more likely that the game will have actually come. Now, fast forward to a couple days later, on Monday, there's this other rumor is Beyond Good and Evil 2 is still in the works, but won't be out until 2024 at the earliest. Following reports that the Beyond Good and Evil 2 cancellation is imminent by leaker Tom Henderson over the weekend, a news source has stepped forward and claimed that the game is actually still in the pipeline. While the game is still reportedly in development, the source told Henderson that it's still a long way off and may not see the light of day until 2025. Beyond Good and Evil 2 is still in development. It's, quote, it's still several years away, said one developer that reached out after my Beyond Good and Evil 2 tweets. I've heard of 2024 to 2025 date thrown around a bit. Beyond, okay, he talks about it. So, what after hearing both of this, do you think that the article on Friday was premature and that it was just basically scuttlebutt, or do you think that there's actually merits? Like, what basically it comes down to it? Do you think we will see this game regard? First of all, do you think we see it in that time period he talks about from the Monday article? And two, or rather, do you think we'll see the light of day on this game at all?
I feel like the second one might be more to to quell things than it actually being true. You know what I mean? Like
it's trying to fan the flames.
Yeah, it's like,
or not stoke the flames. Excuse me.
it's like, oh well, let's put this out. Let's kind of quell the rumors, these sort of things.
Damage control.
Yeah, damage control. That's what I'm feeling more of. If it's multiple people, multiple developers are feeling like it's going to be canceled, I think more of that than just one source saying, hey, it's still going, it's still going to make it, blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
that's just me.
So for me, I think this game is in trouble. Like, I think it's dead. Like, I think they're holding out hope, keep hope alive by doing this tweet, doing this post from Monday, saying it's like, no, we're not canning it, we're keeping it. It's just like 5 years away. 5 years away. We'll be ready. But this game's been in development for a decade at least.
Yeah.
It got revived back in, what was it, Ubisoft C3 2017, 2018.
Yeah, it was
maybe
it was somewhere around there.
Yeah, so it got revived not that long ago. So I don't know, man. Like, I'd like to see it. Like, I know it was a cult hit for the first game, and I know people are excited about the second one, but all this, especially like it said, Michel Ancel leaving, like that was his baby. Like, he was the visionary on that project. I don't think, like, maybe they can salvage something, maybe, but I just figure unless it can fit Ubisoft standard, they're not doing it anymore. I think we don't see this game.
Yeah, I think it's dead in the water.
Yeah,
which
so
stinks, but it is what it is.
Yep,
it is.
Can't do anything about it.
What it is, but there are other things that we can't do anything about, Derek.
Yeah.
Just like Nvidia's CEO saying worldwide chip shortages will continue throughout 2022.
So this was disheartening to read, but it keeps fitting with the profile. I think personally, like, I'll read the article obviously, but I think personally they're just trying to kick the can down the road to save face rather than promise anything and then have to eat crow later. Jensen Huang, the CEO of Nvidia, has said that the ongoing worldwide chip shortages are likely to continue throughout 2022, thus impacting the supply line for PS5 and Series X and S. Speaking with Yahoo Finance, Huang reckons that demand is going to exceed supply, although for Nvidia, the company is, quote, fortunate that we're multi-source and that our supply chain is diverse. Quote, I think that through the next year, demand is going to far exceed supply. We don't have any magic bullets in navigating the supply chain. We have the support of our suppliers. We're fortunate that we're multi-sourced and that our supply chain is diverse and our company is quite large. So we have the support of a large ecosystem around us. Nvidia isn't the only major company that expects semiconductor supply issues to continue through next year. Last month, AMD said that it reckons the supply problems will extend into 2022. Supply issue, and of course, that's been the crux of Sony and Microsoft throughout since launch last year. It is disheartening to read. Not surprising. Like I said, I think they're just future-proofing themselves in case they have to kick the can down the road. Like, I know we talked about 2 weeks ago, or was it last week, that when I was making the doc before stuff happened, that Sony has actually had to scale back because they thought they had enough chipsets. They thought they had enough chipsets and then found out they didn't. Mm-hmm. So they had to pretty much, like, for their fiscal year reports, they had to cut 1 million or 1.5 million PS5s out of their sales goal.
Yeah, and it is the world we live in. I think some of this is PR kind of spin where it's like, hey,
Yeah.
there's still going to be the shortage, which there might be, but it's like, don't expect anything because as a businessman, you know, you undersell,
Under promise, over
yep,
deliver.
you under promise, over deliver. So that's what this feels like.
Yep.
It's what it feels like,
So-
Derek. But we're not done with PlayStation news because Derek's got
Nope.
some PlayStation quickies.
So, first off, the new Remote Play update allows you to stream PS5 games using DualSense controller on Android 12 devices. Next, PS5 is still the best-selling console of 2021 year-to-date in dollars, according to NPD data. Gran Turismo 7 trailer goes into the making of each track for the game. PlayStation Studios has over 25 PlayStation exclusive games currently in development. PS5 is outselling Series X by almost a 2-to-1 ratio. And lastly, Kena Bridge of Spirits Physical Deluxe Edition is out tomorrow.
You just love to see it, you just love to see it.
Great game.
That too. I was talking about the outselling Xbox, but
Oh yeah, that too, man. Like, yeah, for sure. It's like keep that domination. X is not going to give it to you when it comes to PlayStation.
Everybody's like, are they biased towards any company? It's like, well, guess what? We have.
Hey, we had 2 segments. We had PlayStation and Xbox news this week. So
we did. PlayStation has had a long-standing their own segment.
It's our legacy segment.
Yep. It is what it is, guys. It is what it is. But
there are weeks when I'm making the doc that I'm like, will we have PlayStation news, or will we have enough to make a news segment this week? We'll see.
Oh, we will. Well, if we don't, then I'll just talk about the graces of Shuhei and when Gio Corsi was part of the company, and where there was this one time, this gleaming hope in the PlayStation land.
I was wondering when you'd get to that.
Of, the Vita. It literally means life. Everybody, literally means life. But
which is ironic because it's dead.
Yeah, because of PlayStation. But moving on, guys, our show is not done because we've got the quick hits. And Derek, unlike Xbox, he isn't at a 2-to-1 loss here. He's a 1-to-1 man. He's a 1-to-1 man.
I'm undefeated.
Yep. All right, Crystal Kim, here we go.
So, first off, Take-Two boss says GTA series could last as long as James Bond. Naruto is now available in Fortnite. Following that, Dark Phoenix skin is now available in Fortnite. Following that, as we talked about earlier, Boba Fett is coming to Fortnite next month. The Playdate, we talked about the Steam Deck being delayed. The Playdate has been delayed to early 2022. Twitch app is now available on Switch. New Design Lab options have been added to Xbox Design Lab, including black rubberized grips, 19 new metallic finish colors, and 3 new controller parts colors, which include Dragonfly Blue, Nocturnal Green, and Velocity Green. Discord backs away from crypto integration. PC Xbox app removing installation restrictions and will allow modding. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic is now available on Switch. Alan Wake Remastered sales have, quote, started well, and Remedy's second game with Epic Games is in full production. Battlefield 2042 voice chat absent at launch and could arrive by, quote, day 25. Buying Marvel Guardians of the Galaxy buying the Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy game now will get you a free month of Disney Plus. Switch was the best-selling console of October, and Metroid Dread sets new franchise record. Assassin's Creed lead writer returns to Ubisoft 7 months after leaving. Rumor, Star Wars Eclipse is the title of Quantic Dream's new game. OlliOlli developer Roll7 has been acquired by Take-Two. Oddworld Soulstorm Enhanced Edition is set for release on November 30th. Vampire the Masquerade Blood Hunt Early Access Founders Season is closes and now launching early 2022. Call of Duty Team Ricochet update warns you could be banned from the entire series, including future games. Something that happened yesterday, Saints Row has been delayed to August 23rd, which I think I did call. Call of Duty Vanguard free multiplayer trial starting now through November 21st. Skate 2 online servers are closing on December 10th. Yakuza developer Ryoga Gatoko Studio is working on a new IP, and following that, Yakuza 8 will star Ichiban Kasuga and will be set some years after Like a Dragon. A random one, Ed Sheeran is coming to Pokemon Go. Transformers now available in Smite. Far Cry 6 Breaking Bad and Voss Insanity DLC is out now. Outriders New Horizons update is out now with the World Slayers expansion coming in 2022. Techland assures players there's, quote, zero chance Dying Light 2 will be delayed again. Pragmata officially delayed to 2023, which I thought we discussed that at the beginning of the year, but I guess it's now official. Sonic collaboration for Monster Hunter Rise coming November 26th. Mario Kart Live 2.0 update adds split-screen multiplayer, 4-player relay racing, and more. And lastly, Sega is somehow bringing Alien Isolation to mobile, quote, without compromise.
Okay. There's two I want to hit real quick before we wrap the show. Call of Duty Vanguard free multiplayer trial starting now through November 21st.
Game's only been out for 2 weeks.
I have not seen a Call of Duty do a free multiplayer trial this early in its run. So there's blood in the water. There's blood in the water. This game's struggling, and Battlefield is going to struggle too because that game looks like trash. And plays like trash.
Early, the Ultimate Edition, you got a week. You got to play it a week early. So far, the servers have been not that great.
Yeah, so it feels like, you know, maybe this might be the turn where it's like we're not getting a Call of Duty every year because they're not putting out as good of games. That's just my thought. You know, especially like if they're doing a multiplayer trial this early, that means the number of people on there isn't what they're expecting.
Yep.
And then Techland assuring there's zero chance of Dying Light 2 will be delayed again. That means this: if the game is ready to go, awesome. If it is not, they will still put the game out and it will be trash at the beginning, and then they will try to patch it months afterwards.
It'll be the next Cyberpunk.
Yep. Which is kind of sad, because I hope that it's not.
Yeah.
So
I want it to be good for how much turmoil this with that, especially when we covered it, you know, beginning of the year, how ADD the studio head was, and now they seem to have ironed out and found their rhythm. So I just hope this game's good, but we'll find out in February.
Yep, not too long from now. Well,
maybe February.
Yeah, maybe. Well, guys, there you go. There is Nerd Cave news for the week. We hope that you enjoyed it. Let us know what your favorite story was down in the comments below. We'll be back next week at 9 p.m. Central Time over on twitch.tv. Crystal Kim, enjoyed the show?
Well, now hold that thought. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer. You know, it's Thanksgiving next week.
Oh, yeah, that is right.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we'll let you know what our schedule is for next year. But if you want to keep up with us, make sure to go to twitch.tv/NerdCaveNetwork. Follow us there so you don't miss out on any of the awesome live streams, and go to youtube.com/NerdCaveNetwork and hit that subscribe button. Ring the mess out of that bell like you're trying to get free loot boxes for whatever game that you're playing these days so you don't miss out on any of our awesome videos. This has been Zach
and Crystal Kim.
Y'all have a blessed week. Bye.